Hey, what's up, my beautiful people? Today is October 20th, and here's your daily energy report. Before I get into that, I want to say thank you, all you guys, so much for your support, for your love, for just your messages, and just for being all around fucking badasses. All right, I appreciate you guys very much for tuning into my content, for letting me know just how much this helps you out. I can't thank you enough. This energy is pretty intense and pretty heavy, but it's also getting us to that point where it's like, especially right now, because we have a mutable grand cross, right, going on between Neptune in the nodes and Venus in the nodes. And today in particular, we're going to have the sun going through the second and third decan of Sagittarius, which is going to conjunct the south nodes. It's about letting go, taking a step back and seeing like the things that we've been attached to from the past, whether it's a way of doing business or it's particularly in relationships. This is like really big for relationships, like seeing, like, man, like I used to respond this way, in this relationship, and it was just fucking ridiculous. Like this, like on the plus note, we're seeing things that we did wrong that we feel like was counterproductive in the past, and now it's like, okay, enough. Like, I'm done. Like, let's fucking move on. It's time to move to the future. It's time to make this next level of shit happen. But simultaneously, while we're feeling that, we're sort of like sitting in the emotion, in the primordial ooze of this, like letting go. Like we're feeling it. Like, oh, okay, I don't like the way that feels, and it kind of sucks and it's shitty. And it's almost like you get attached to like, well, I don't want to feel this. So the more we try to escape that feeling, the longer it stays, because what moving on from it is when we're at the point where it doesn't trigger us anymore, so there's no emotional response. So this is why the work is really so important. When we try to numb ourselves out to it, it's like it lingers, it stays like a fucking, like a smelly fart that just doesn't go away. It just sits there, permeates. It's really fucking like when you go to the Olympia, like all the bodybuilders, they the protein farts from all the fucking free protein bars that have all the sugar alcohols in them, and you just smell protein shits all day long. It's fucking rough. If you guys never been to the Arnold or the Olympia, you can be ready to fucking get hit with some smoke screens around there. But you know what I'm saying? Like okay, like no, we don't need to sit in that smoke screen. Like we can walk away from it, and you know, and walking away from it into the future right now is about taking care of self. I know, for me, my whenever I am in an energy like this, I get really tired. I get like, especially with Mars retrograde, me being Aries rising, like I'm just like, oh, my brain just doesn't have a whole lot of fuel to go. Even if I eat perfectly, it like I feel balanced, but like I don't feel great like I normally do. So it makes it very difficult. Like all the cravings come and want to eat, sugar, and then like not sleeping well. It sort of promotes that imbalance. So it's like these imbalances start to come. The imbalances are in direct proportion to feeling and hanging on, being attached to these old emotions and old experiences. But so I mean, like, if you're gonna wake up late, then okay, wake up late, but hold yourself accountable to a certain extent. Make yourself, connect with the people that will hold you accountable. Right? This is all about stepping into our responsibility of loving our lives and loving ourselves, because when we don't take that responsibility, we're not happy. But it's this victim sort of cat and mouse game that we tend to play with ourselves, from being sitting in the third dimension to elevating into the fifth dimension, which is essentially just living from the heart space, right? So we're sort of pinging back and forth between this third and fifth, and we're sitting in this middle space of purgatory where it doesn't really quite feel like we can go forward. But the idea is to see these things and be okay, but not get caught up in the dysfunctional behavior pattern that is what we've been caught up in for the last few years. Right now we're seeing it, we're feeling it, we're starting to realize it, and we're stepping up, and we're starting to create these little detailed blocks, or like boundaries, as opposed to walls, and everything that we're doing. And it may seem minuscule right now, but these things that we're sort of, it's almost like we're getting forced or pressured into doing it, and then it falls off, and then a little another one again, then falls off. But as we feel like we're falling off, it's actually building these little very specific blocks. And as the very specific ones start to get more general, they start to get bigger and they start to build on themselves like exponential growth. And that is really where the change comes. So the work right now is super important. Today's the day for letting go. Today is a day for seeing the shit, seeing the patterns, understanding what's working and what's not, being really brutally honest with ourselves, in our heart and our core, and preparing for a good quality night's sleep, and setting our mind up for the next day to get up and be motivated and, be positive and do something for ourselves. Wake up, like in this next 24 hours, when you're watching this video, I want you to plan on, if it's before you go to sleep with a positive intention in your mind. Okay. Thinking, visualizing the fucking amazing day that you're going to have. If you're watching this after you wake up, I want you to, from right now forward, go into the mirror, go somewhere where you can look yourself in the eye and say, like something you want to accomplish today, something positive for yourself, whether it's something that's going to make you feel better, something that's going to make you feel more productive, or something that that you need to do that you've just been procrastinating and pushing to the sidelines. I want you to take that one thing, and affirm to yourself you're going to do something, and then follow through and do that one thing, whatever it is. That's the small win. That's what builds a self-confidence. Okay. So I hope you guys take that, honorably and seriously, and actually step into it. Cause I'll tell you what, it can make a big difference. Okay. It's those little things that make the biggest differences. Trust me. And I'm going to take responsibility, and I'm going to do that as well. So before I go to bed tonight, I'm going to meditate, and I'm going to visualize the day that I want to have. What I'm going to do, I'm going to manifest that shit. Okay. And I'll come back tomorrow and let you guys know in the live how I did. Well, speaking of which, don't forget to tune in today at 5 p.m. for the weekly live energy report that we're going to be doing. And again, don't forget the 20% and 22% discounts I have for Mercury retrograde, 20% off my astrology course, level 1 and 2. And then, of course, 22% off my coaching services. You can move 15, 30, or 60 minutes. And of course, we can still do a reading. Just go to my website, spiritualbodybuilder.com. It's in the link in the bio and also in the description box below. All right. I love you guys so very much. And I just also released my full moon in Taurus for Halloween. It's going to be a fucking shit show. And so I just posted that video earlier today on my YouTube. So check that out as well. All right. I love you guys. I'll see you on the next report. Peace out.